Alright, seeing as we're done with March now, that means we are done with the first quarter of the year. I will preface this by some things that I've seen other booktubers address that I'm not going to be addressing because I do not pay for the app I use and I do not write these details down, so they're not in my notebook either. Had a hair on my phone. Cat hair. One of the torties. I did not include publishers because I did not keep track of publishers, how many pages I read a day. I did not keep track of I read most days, but I did not write down how many days total I've read in the quarter, but I did write down other things, such as I read a total of 19 books in the first quarter. The highest rating at 5 stars was The Thing About Jellyfish by Ali Benjamin. 4 books tied for the lowest rating of 3 stars. The Kamogawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai, The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Rare, The Lost Manuscript by Kathy Bonadon, and Blood in the Water by Tiffany D. Jackson. I did end up giving up on 3 books. 9 books were from my shelf. 10 were from the library. 13 authors were new to me, and 2 of the books had 2 authors. So if these don't add up, that's why, because that's a total of 4 authors right there that I'd never read. 8 authors are ones I've already read. In terms of the genres, they do overlap, so they're not, there's like more than one genre for some books, so that's why they don't add up to 19. 8 historical fiction, 2 magical realism, 2 romance, 3 contemporary, 2 summer, I think that's considered 1, 2 thrillers, 1 memoir, 1 nonfiction, 2 children's books, 1 grief, and 1 satire. For any slumps, I experienced a pretty big slump in February. It doesn't really show with what I read because I forced myself to read every day because I signed up for the Read Every Day in February fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. I took this very seriously, so therefore I really did just read and read and read to where I wasn't really enjoying it anymore. And also, because I'm doing Read Through the Alphabet Challenge, I guess I can do an update on that too. I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17 letters. I also got my favorite color one done, animal on the cover, book with a number in the title, and book with favorite color on the cover done. Because I was also doing that, in February I was really trying to make it be letters I hadn't done yet so I could get it done as soon as possible. So, I ended up with a lot of more historical fiction than I really would have wanted. And because a good chunk were library books, I forced myself to read them, except I did take a breather with one of my own books that was a thriller just to kind of get myself back in it. So that was my big slump. And I did feel a slight slump with Raising Cubby in March, only because the first half was pretty slow. I do have, it's not really an official reading goal, but I think in my head it quickly is becoming one. My tentative reading goal for the year is 75 books because I calculated it, I think, in January or February. Because January and February consecutively, I was reading 6 books each month. The only one where I read more was last month, where I read 7, which that's not much more, but that is one more. So I calculated it. If I read 6 books every month, then I would be at 72 books. So what's 3 more books? So that is my tentative goal. I might get way more than that because I'm learning that I read a lot more than I really think I do. Because before I started tracking this, because this is the first year I've tracked anything, I thought I read like maybe 50 books a year. But then I kind of thought about it more. I'm going to get into summer soon. And right now I'm not working. And I'll be off from school for the summer. So my reading will really ramp up. And when I don't have anything to really do, I tend to read about 3 books a week. Maybe, not really 4. Rarely. Unless they're like short or I plow through them enough. So that could easily be 12 or more books a month. So I could very easily reach the 75 books. I think my tastes for this next quarter may involve more contemporary fiction and thrillers more so than historical fiction. I know I say that now because I really love historical fiction. It's my favorite genre, but I really have been reading a lot of it in this first quarter. So I'm curious to see if that's going to really change or if I'm just going to... Because the way I tend to read is like contemporary or like some other genre, like a thriller, historical fiction, and then back to the other one, historical fiction. So I may not read very much historical fiction. I may read a lot. I do have 2 more library books from my most recent library haul. That's on my TBR that's next. And I don't keep an official TBR. My bookshelf to me is my TBR. And I just grab from it whatever I'm in the mood for, kind of a thing. I know some people kind of pick a selected group that they want to read at a time. I can't do that. Unless I'm at the library, but not from my own shelf. I don't know why, but I've never been that way. I am going to try to keep reading more from my bookshelf and maybe not go to the library or get so many books at one time. Because if I get a lot of books from the library, I feel like I have to just read them all. And also, it's hard to make a dent in my own bookshelf if I'm not reading from it. So, yeah, that is my first quarter of 2026 update.